Hi everyone, I've got another Fallout fever, so I downloaded Fallout London and started playing it. Fallout London is the brainchild of a team of enthusiasts and is a full-fledged game built on the engine of the fourth Fallout. How is London different from Fallout 4? There are working letters, holy shit! But seriously, I can only express my respect to the authors because here perks and different stats come into play much more often during dialogues. It's awesome and adds some of that New Vegas dialogue system vibe. Alright, we are not here to discuss the game itself, but to figure out which mods to install for even better experience, and to do it in the simplest way possible. Spoiler, via Vortex collection that I made myself. I didn't add any bulkier texture mods, new weapons or anything like that. Essentially, it's all about balance tweaks, a couple of convenience features and some fixes. When creating the collection, my logic was simple. I want to have fun playing. First, I'll explain the problems and then I'll tell you which mods fix them. My biggest issue with Fallout London is that the weapon balance and progression are the same as in Fallout 4. You know, that balance where a minigun had the lowest base damage, eats ammo like a Range Rover guzzles gas, and deals damage as if you're shooting a Nerf gun instead of a weapon capable of turning a car into Swiss cheese. The problem with legendary enemies and legendary weapons deserves special mention. Fallout 4 eventually turns into a meat-grinding slog where you whack an enemy for half an hour and they whack you for half an hour. However, if you happen to find a shotgun with explosive rounds, situation changes drastically. One of my favorite YouTubers, It's Ya Boy Brandy Boy, demonstrated how absurd is the balance. Shooting a regular raider kills them in a few shots, but shooting the same pistol at a legendary gunner takes not 20, not 30, not even 100, but 763 rounds. Plus, I'm not a fan of how when you specialize in a certain weapon type, you're basically stuck with it because switching to another type means dealing half the damage. My inner self starts screaming at this balance. Oh wait, that's Billy. Billy, quiet down, we'll fix it. Billy? Billy? Luckily, the Fallout London devs didn't overcomplicate things or overload the game with nonsense that would be completely incompatible with mods, so installing mods is pretty straightforward thanks to specially made patches. Since I've ranted so much about balance, let's start there. True damage. This mod reduces weapon damage by about 90%, but adds damage to ammunition. This means if you pick up a gun, you can use it right away without needing some ultra-powerful reinforced receiver to make it viable. But that's not all. To avoid getting one-shot by enemies from becoming damage sponges, we install Scorch and Scaling Flagger. We top it all off with Jindo's patches for true damage plus a crit patch. The default headshot multiplier is just 6-2, so effects from items don't avoid breaking balance. We install I hate legendary items. Script extender, address library, mod configuration menu, of course MCM booster, Robka patcher, Lighthouse Papyrus extender, Baka framework, buff out, and buff back settings. Sounds overwhelming, right? Well, that's exactly why I created the Vortex collection, so you don't have to write down what to install or worry about load order. Don't worry, I'm not making money off this, you can share Nexus collection yourself, it's free. I won't go deeper into patch details or required utilities and just briefly explain what I didn't like and how I fix it. At the end of the video, I'll explain how to install everything with minimal hassle. In short, the balance tweaks ensure that weapons are viable as soon as you pick them up. Weapon perks have also been reworked to give useful bonuses instead of just flat damage increases. Now every enemy has standard HP with minor variations, so you don't have to worry about dealing too little damage. The increased headshot multiplier rewards precision without making low-caliber weapons overpowered. Effective HP system from true damage means the more HP you have, the more damage you take. This ensures you still feel the impact even if you pumped your HP up to 1000. To prevent this balance from breaking, I also removed all legendary effects from weapons and armor with I hate legendary items. The result? No more dumping 700 plus rounds into a single enemy, but you'll also need to play more carefully because you'll take significant damage. But not that significant that you die from first poisonous bite of rat. Moving on to the next issues. You see this ammo counter? You might think there are only 11 rounds left, but in reality there are over 100. The game has an interface problem. I installed full UI and some patches and the issue is fixed. I also added a widget to display ticket counts in real time. Pretty cool, right? The companion status widget isn't finished yet, so I didn't include it, but the core UI problems are solved. If you want to tweak icon placement or crosshair styles, you can do it via mod configuration, full UI HUD, layout, as I'm showing now. You can even choose some of the presets. I also added wheel menu because it's just convenient, but using it is optional. Next gripe, vats. I hate how vats lets you detect enemies and mines you wouldn't otherwise see. Standing still while your character auto-aims isn't fun either, so I replaced it with vafs redux. A bullet time system where critical hit meters still builds up like a vats, but now you can actually move and aim manually. Perception now affects slowdown intensity instead of vats accuracy, and all vats related perks are reworked for this system. The weapons in Fallout London are great and authentic, I wouldn't change a thing. Especially the Lee Enfield, a legendary British rifle. Just listen to how goddamn good it sounds. Wait, why the fuck am I reloading all-tail rounds when I only have two? Solution: tactical reload and bullet count reload. Now you only reload spent rounds. Same for double barrels. If you fire one shell, you reload one. Plus, if there's already a round chambered, your character won't pointlessly wreck the bolt. Small touch, but satisfying. Also, I installed universal dissasembler. This mod lets you scrap junk with one button. Because Fallout's default system with dropping junk on the floor and scrapping by a workbench is trash. Okay, I think that's it. I'll now delete the game, nuke the Fallout folder in my game's documents, wipe all mods and reinstall the collection from scratch. First step, download Vortex. You have to register on Nexus Mods first. Use the link in the description. Second, install Fallout London. Launch it until character creation to generate necessary files. Then exit. In Vortex, go to Games, select Fallout 4, Start to Manage, and you can set game path if needed. Go to Collections and either search for the collection Apua or go to it via link in the description and click Add Collection. Then, if you don't have a premium subscription like me, you need to download all the mods separately. For this, when the window appears, click Download and on the page that appears, slow download. It took me 7 minutes to download and install the collection. Just please be careful and first launch Fallout London without mods and get to the point of character creation, and only after that install the collection. Otherwise there will be problems, because without the first launch the ini files are not generated and mods make changes to them, and if you do everything in the wrong order, the game will give you a gentle facefuck because of this conflict of overrides and bunch of errors and unnecessary crap can come out. So if you did everything correctly, the collection will work. All the settings in the ini files are already written there, including for op capture, and you only need to configure the keys through the mod configuration menu. At first launch it loaded for a couple of minutes, but don't worry too much. This is relevant only for the first time. Configurable hotkeys, it's just to bind some hotkeys like throwing grenade or use the steam pack. Full UI HUD and everything other related to full UI is just your UI. You can pick a preset, I chose extra fancy because I'm an idiot. True damage. Default settings are fine, but here's where you tweak difficulty, damage taken and dealt ratios. Universal Dissasembler. Enable everything except the top option and bind a hotkey. Vafs Redux. Rebind VATs to another key first if using Q. I halved AP costs to compensate for no legendary stat gear. Also enabled stronger focus, that helps with low perception builds. So basically you have to assign here a focus button and activation of critical hit. Make sure you're using different from VATs key for vafs activation. Wheel menu. If you're gonna use it, just bind the key. Okay, final checks. In Hotkey Manager, check bind.vafs case and make sure it's not in use anywhere else. So that's it. Collection ready to play. You can start your travel now. I had to sweat to make this collection as easy to install as possible, so leave a comment, like and subscribe to the channel. And goodbye.